Hi, hello, and greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I come here today to speak to you about rats. I like rats. They're very interesting. They live in, colonies and they eat lots of things, predominantly garbage. They rummage through garbage because no one really wants to feed rats. Everybody wants to throw stuff away. Rats are, they're opportunistic. Someone throws something away in a New York City garbage can. And they're like, oh, well, I guess I'll eat out of that New York City garbage can. I'll eat your half-eaten tuna sub. Although, why would you throw away a half-eaten tuna sub? You don't like tuna subs. If it's a really gross tuna sub. Who knows? But the rat doesn't really care. The rat thinks the tuna sub is delicious. Because rats don't really care, do they? No. Well, anyway, there's a movie about this. Rats eating things. I like rats eating things. And, there's a movie about rats eating things called Ratatouille. I love Ratatouille. Ratatouille was, in fact, released on my birthday. Well, multiple years after my birthday, because I'm not, like, really young. I was born not in 2007. But it was released on my date of birth, like the day of birth that I was born in 2007, so a number of years after. But, you know, it's a cool movie. I recently watched it. It's very nice. Very beautiful movie. I think it's a adequately rated film. I was about to say underrated, but I think most people understand it's very good. Ratatouille. It's a good movie. It's got good voice acting. I really enjoyed all of the voice performances. They're very filled with emotion. It's got a good story. It's a very unique concept. It's not something that's really overdone or under. It's not like the classic princess story or anything. It's very unique. A rat who wants to cook. That's weird. It doesn't really follow any story structure. That is anyway. I like Ratatouille. I think it's a good movie. It's so good. Anyway, that rat makes some really good looking food. And I feel like the other rats would be very enthusiastic to eat that very good looking food. But it takes a while for the rats to come around and really want to eat Remy's food, which is odd. If I was a rat, I would be fine eating moldy cheese out of the dumpster, but I feel like I'd prefer to eat not moldy cheese, not out of the dumpster. Do you agree? Do you agree? If you were a rat, would you like moldy cheese more? Maybe it adds flavor. I don't know. I've never eaten moldy cheese. Actually, I probably have. Is it blue cheese, moldy cheese? Why do people like blue cheese? Blue cheese is so gross. It's just not good. Like, blue cheese is disgusting. People at restaurants make a really nice steak and they're like, how do I ruin this today? And they put blue cheese on it, and it's gross. My brother likes blue cheese. He's gross. Do you want to be like my brother? Maybe. I kind of want to be like my brother sometimes. But you don't want to like blue cheese. It's not good. Blue cheese isn't good. Cheese-based snacks, though. I like goldfish and Cheez-Its. Most people like Cheez-Its more because they're just generally better. But I think I honestly prefer goldfish. Kind of just a nostalgia thing for me. When I was younger, I'd always eat goldfish. I never had Cheez-Its until I was much older. So I kind of have goldfish cemented into my body. My foundation is goldfish. I've eaten goldfish in many ways. I mean, you can let them melt in your mouth, which is really gross. I've tried shoving as many goldfish in my mouth as possible. That's also really gross. I think my favorite is biting them in half because there's like a little seam. If you get your tooth in there and you can bite them in half, and one side's really thin and one side's thicker. You eat the thick side first, and then you collect thin sides. That's what I would do because the thin sides are way better. The ones that are salted and it's very thin and it's crispy and it's nice. So I eat all the thick sides first because they're not as good, and then I have this bowl filled with thin sides. I just eat those. It was divine. It was wonderful. I loved my grandparents would always have big boxes of goldfish at their house. That's why I had them so because I'd always go to my grandparents' house because when my parents wanted to go do something fun, and I was like a 5-year-old, and my brother was like 8. It's like they're not going to do something fun and have their 5 and 8-year-old come along. Although some people do that. Big ups to them, honestly. Good for them taking their annoying little children on. But they would send us off to our grandparents. So I ate a lot of things, a lot with my grandparents. I ate a lot. I eat a lot still. One of the things I ate most was, besides goldfish, was French toast. My grandpa made really, really good French toast frequently. Um, I really like French toast. I always have, and it's weird because most of the time French toast is made on like thick bread, but I always had it made on sourdough bread. I like sourdough bread to French toast, which is quite odd. I realize. But that's how I like to make French toast. You crack the eggs, you put the cinnamon in the eggs, you mix it around. You put the cinnamon and sugar actually. Cinnamon and sugar in the eggs. You mix it around. You dip your bread in it, and then you put it in and you cook it on the stove, and you flip it over and you put it on your plate after it's thoroughly cooked, and then you put some syrup on it and you eat, and it's very good. I like French toast more than I like pancakes and waffles. My ranking is French toast, waffles, pancakes. For my friends, it's most of the time it's flipped around. They like pancakes the most, then waffles, then French toast. But I'm built different, honestly. I really love French toast. I love French toast everywhere. I love French toast from any restaurant I go to for the most part. I'm not super picky with my food. If it tastes good, I like it. If it doesn't taste good, I don't like it. Well, there are some things that I really hate, like Subway sandwiches. I hate Subway sandwiches. I think they're devil's food. They're god awful. They're some of the worst things. They're soggy. I don't know if that's just my memory, but like maybe I had one super soggy Subway sandwich. Now my brain constantly relates Subway sandwiches with being super super soggy. I don't get that. That's weird. I have a lot of things like that where I have one thing once and I relate it to that, or maybe like I eat a food too much and then it makes me vomit. Like I can never have Lunchables again because when I was like third grade, I did something stupid and I was just trying to make my friends laugh, and I dipped a piece of cheese into the chocolate pudding. And later that day, I didn't vomit because of that. Later that day I thought about it and vomited because it was just like, ugh. Oh my god, that's gross. So I did that in third grade. I can never eat Lunchables again, not even ever once. That's a weird thing to remember, isn't it? That's a weird memory to have. Something that'll hold me for probably the rest of my life. I'll remember eating that Lunchable thing, and I'll remember that I'm never going to eat a Lunchable again, not even once. Right? Other things that stick with you forever. One time when I was in Seattle, me and my family went on a little boat trip, and I had these blue and black, which is a weird color combo. Normally they're blue and white checkered, or blue and black, or not white and black typically checkered. But I had these blue and black checkered Vans, and they were kind of weird. They were slip-on Vans, blue and black checkered, and we were on this boat, and we were sitting in seats on the boat. It was kind of like road seats on the top of this boat. I don't know how big the boat was. There was maybe 100 other people on the boat. It was not like a big boat, just like a day trip. I think it was whale watching maybe. But I was sticking my feet through the railing just for fun, and I brought my foot back, and these slip-off Vans, slip-ons, whatever, they slipped off. And there is one of my shoes forever in the. It's probably washed ashore now, but it was in the ocean for at least a while. One of my shoes. Weird, right? And I remember that forever. Other things that I recently remembered something. There's things that you don't remember forever that are not constantly just in your memory. There's something I recently remembered for the first time since it happened, probably. I remembered it was my birthday. I don't remember what year this was, how old I even was. I was young though. My family used to go on vacation to places every single summer. My birthday happens to land in summer, as I told you, it's June 29th, the release date of Ratatouille. And we went to, well, some context here. I didn't really get anything for my birthday because we were already on vacation. They wanted to buy something there. But I was like, I want like a treat, like a dessert or something. So my parents looked around. It was late at night. It was dark at least. It was summer, so it was probably around 9 or 10 o'clock, I would assume. And I was very young and still awake. Kind of out of it though because it was so late and it was past my bedtime. I normally go to sleep or normally went to sleep at 8:30 when I was little. For most of my life, at that point, I'd gone to sleep at 8:30, like on the dot, which is weird. But we found this little place. It was a house. It was a house in Costa Rica. The front of the house was like fenced off with chain link. It looked like just like a normal house you would see in America, right? Obviously, and they had this little play set in front with like swings and stuff. And there was this really eccentric lady. I always picture her as one of my grandpa's girlfriend's cat. skinny, tall, long black hair. That's probably not what she looked like, but that's what she is in my head. Um, and we were there for a while. I feel like it feels like, but I got this really really sweet strawberry sundae. I remember it being one of the first things that I could describe as sickeningly sweet. It was like it was kind of gross though how sweet it was, but I ate the whole thing. I was not going to get a strawberry sundae and not finish it. It was very good. It was in this really tall red tinted glass. I don't know. That was a weird place I went to. There were like string like fairy lights on the house. I don't know. It was weird. Um, I've talked for 10.5 minutes. I just talked about things, and I haven't really stopped talking. I've just kept talking about things. I have so many things to say. Yeah, well, if you want to watch this, go on ahead and watch me talk for, I guess we'll go to the 11-minute mark, 10 more seconds, yeah. 11 minutes of me talking about nothing. Um, yeah, well, have a nice day, everybody.